Right, then sure.
Hey.
I'll put your link tree up because otherwise
That's
I
me.
get moaned at if I
Steve
don't.
is Steve, and that's me.
I get moaned at if I don't put a link tree up. I've actually cut the top of your head off, so I'm just going to make you a bit smaller.
That was me. I zoomed myself in slightly.
All right, I need to make it. I need to make you a bit smaller.
Yep.
So
that's fine. I'm looking quite looming over you at the moment. Like God. Yep.
Yeah, you okay with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to pander to your ego to make sure you look good for the TV. I bet you even put makeup on, didn't you?
No.
No, I put makeup on. No, I do sometimes. Depends what studio lights I've got on and how sweaty I am. To be
honest, it does help sometimes. I mean, I've got the lights on, and I've got daylight, and the daylight, as you can see, is washing me out. Daylight is just making me blue. I don't normally wear foundation or anything. I literally just wear a bit of lipstick and a bit of mascara. But if this carries on, and I've got my lighting on the warmest setting, and it's still making me look bluer than Steve. So.
Yeah, so I do something just to take the shine off of my skin, but tonight it's not overly shiny. But I haven't got daylight. I've actually got a very expensive studio light up there, which is why I look a natural colour and you look a bit washed out.
Yeah, because I'm using, like I said, natural daylight, and this one's not on at the moment, but as it gets darker, that will come. I've got a ring light there, and I've got this one here.
Okay, I've got some questions for you, Tracy.
Yes.
What exactly is a plus size?
A plus size is probably something that clothing industry came up with, or the fashion industry came up with, because we're not normal. We are larger than normal, and normal I don't know what it was, but let's say normal was sort of like size 8 to maybe 12, maybe stretching it to 14, and then once you got over 14, you weren't normal, so you became plus sized because you were sized plus. And of course in America, you've got the XXX, so that might be something to do with it because it's like plus and everything. So
yeah.
So there's plus of us.
So anything over size 14 is considered a plus size, yeah?
Would have been, but I think nowadays, because of the way that things have shifted, it possibly would be over 16.
Okay, over 16.
Yeah.
And does plus size only count for women?
No.
My shirt is a 2XL.
Yeah. See, but yours would be classed as big and tall, that type of thing for men. But
big and tall, you've met me. Tall is not something. Tall is something that I would not. I'm only 5'6". Tall would not be. I've never been described as tall, ever.
I think plus size would have been more for women, but I think as men have caught up with the sort of the fashion and things like that, I think plus size you could say that, but I don't follow fashion too much to be able to say, oh yeah, no, definitely. I do know that in certain industries they've got BBWs and BHM, which BBW is Big Beautiful Woman, and BHM.
No, it's not. It's Big Breasted Women.
No, it's not. It's Big Beautiful.
It is on Pornhub. It's Big Breasted Women. It's Milf and Gill from BBW and BBC.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not going into that one. But then you've got because it was BBW, Big Beautiful Woman, and then you've got BHM, which is Big Handsome Man, and that was the equivalent of the Big Beautiful Woman. And you had Big Handsome Man, and Big Handsome Man could be any size over normal to like really, really, really plus sized, super plus sized.
I don't actually think I could get away with describing myself as a big handsome man. Right? There's two things that have never been used, right? When talking about me. Sorry?
Big or handsome.
Tall or handsome, yeah. They've never been used in conjunction with each other when talking about me.
I think they're just catch terms though. It's what people search for, and you could put BBW for me, and you get in all the people who were looking for large woman to look at and enjoy.
I was thinking of you. One of the tags tonight I was thinking of using was BBC. Now, I used to work for the BBC many years ago, many years ago. Yeah.
Doing what?
I was a printer, and they had an in-house print department, and I used to work there. But that was 40 years ago.
Which site?
Sorry?
Which site? Because you know they have got different sites.
Langham Place.
Really?
Yeah, just behind Langham.
Your paths and my dad's paths may well have crossed.
Was he a printer then, or?
No, he worked for BBC Radio, so that's Langham Place, isn't it? I think my mum actually worked in Langham Place, but that was the 60s. But the actual BBC Radio broadcasting house, which now has got the one show comes from the bottom of there now. But small world, you see.
I'm just looking for the usual Twitch group that I promote our streaming, and I can't find it.
Oh.
That means I've been kicked out.
Oh.
How unusual for me to be kicked out of a group on Facebook. I didn't work in the BBC building. I worked in Langham Place, not the big building that you associate with the BBC. But if you go down, if you look at the front door and you walk down the right of it, at the end of the road, there's a 2-story separate building still in Langham Place that's owned by the BBC, and that's where the print department was. So that's where I worked. I never saw anybody famous and anything like that because we were away from the main building.
It's still the BBC place. If you'd said broadcasting house in Shepherd's Bush, White City, I would have said, no, that's not where my dad got there sometimes, but that's not where he worked. Yes, and my father used to work for BBC Radio Drama. He worked there from I think it was mid-60s. He actually dropped out of university and went to work there as, I believe, some kind of electrician. I can never get the full story out of him, but it was some kind of electrician working with electronics and stuff. But somebody at some point saw some potential in him, and he'd submitted sort of some sound effects and things like this. And he got a job working with radio drama doing the sound effects and for like loads of radio plays and presentations on Radio 4 radio drama. And I remember going to places
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, sorry, I've just farted and it really stinks. Oh, that's disgusting.
Do you know what? That's a screen grab in itself. I do love putting funny fake. I was saying this to Steve earlier. Hello, Andy. I was saying this to Steve earlier that I love putting. I called it a screen grab. I didn't mean screen grab. My brain went, "You've taken a screen grab to show Steve," and that's why I typed screen grab. But I like putting the cover picture. You can choose a cover picture on TikTok, and so when people come into your TikTok, they see the frame that you've chosen from the video to display it. So you're obviously going to choose an interesting one or a funny one or a pertinent one for it. And I like choosing ones that make Steve look more of a knobhead than he normally is. And he makes these faces, and he just made that face because he farted. And that is going to be the cover. He just looked like, I don't know, the alien coming out of John Hurt's chest.
Thanks. It's nice to know how. It's nice to know how people view me.
When you did that face, Steve, it was not pretty. But mind you, the fart probably wasn't pretty either.
Right, I've got to tell you. Okay. Chemo farts. They're like nothing you've ever experienced before. When you're on chemo, I've got cancer. For those that don't know, I've got lymphoma, and I'm currently on treatment at the moment. And what basically happens is the chemicals that I put inside myself, they destroy the tumours inside me. But what isn't really spoken about too much, and what isn't really, you don't see it much on the net, is what happens to those tumours when they're broken up. What do you think happens to them, Tracy?
I should imagine that you have to excrete them. They've got to go somewhere, haven't they?
I shit them out.
Yeah.
Right, and obviously you have to fart. Well, it smells like dead tissue because it is dead tissue, and when I fart, it is the most evil thing in the world. And normally I can sit there in a room with my normally most of us can sit surrounded by their own farts, can't we? Because they're ours. It's got our unique smell, it's got our unique smell, so we don't mind. It's just everybody else that we piss off. But honestly, when I fart, it's just, oh, I feel awful. Oh, you're gonna put more on. You're gonna put more funny faces up, are you? On your cover.
I love it. I just think that it's just one of those things that it makes it more interesting because the first time I put one up, I didn't set the picture, and I was like, because what happened was all I got was you sitting there looking like you were really bored, but you were actually during the conversation you were listening.
Yeah.
But the actual picture that had automatically been chosen by TikTok looked like you were those like. And so I'd rather have you, have you going, or I love the one at the end, the one at the end of the toss fags out of the window clip. I got you going, so, and it looked like you were sort of demonstrating your melons.
There we go, look, my usual feature. And there we go. Oh, good evening, Paulsy P, DJ Paulsy P, good evening, how are you? Well, anyway, the beer du jour today. My beer du jour is this. It's called Utenos. It's a Lithuanian beer, a Lithuanian lager. I've never had it before, but the Eastern Europeans do make some nice lagers. There's no two ways about that. That's lovely and cold. That's 3 degrees. That's lovely and cold. It's a very nice beer. I can't tell you much about it because it's all in Lithuanian on the back, and I don't really speak Lithuanian.
It's one of the ones that you don't speak.
Yeah. But that's the only beer I'll be having tonight, just the one, because I'm going out tomorrow.
Oh,
how?
Oh, no.
Oh, thank God you can't smell it on Twitch. That would really
God, smell-o-vision.
Oh.
DJ Paulsy P, he has got chemo farts going on, so if you wonder what all the faces are about,
yeah, I've got chemo
me,
farts.
it's him.
Yeah, I've got chemo farts going on Paulsy P. I really have. Where was I? Yeah, I'm going out. I'm going to a place called Nymans, Nymans, which is a country house and gardens down near Hayward Heath.
Oh.
Because I'm immunocompromised, I can't really go out like to a pub or a club or a restaurant where I'm stuck inside with people. But I'm fine going out to places like open gardens and parks. And I'm a member of both English Heritage and National Trust. So I'm taking advantage of my membership. We're going out to this place called Nymans, which is a National Trust property, just to explore around the grounds and get me out of the house. And we're taking a picnic with us as well tomorrow, so we'll have a picnic and eat out.
Fabulous. What? There's a question. Because my sister's always going. What?
Did you see what Paulsy P? Yeah, you're right, Paulsy P.
Yeah.
Sounds like a rapper.
I find Spongy form. You being a musician, I think your next band should be called Chemo Farts.
Yeah. It's more like a trouser ripper. You missed the explanation, but I'll explain it to you again, Paulsy. The chemicals I'm putting in my body break up my tumours, and the tumours leave the body only one way. They have to be excreted, and they're basically dead. You know, it's so when you break wind, you're smelling dead bits of you, and it's just the most. It's like a skunk has got a mackerel and microwaved it for 5 minutes, and then eaten it, and then died, and then crawled up your bum. All right, that's what it smells like. Okay, it's just, you can't really describe it any better than that. That's what a chemo fart is. I learned a long time ago, Tracy, right, that I may not be tall and I may not be good looking, but the best way to get a woman into bed is to make them laugh.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, women like someone who can make them laugh, women do like someone who's a bit geeky. So
Yeah.
any guys
And
out
trust me,
there,
whenever I take my clothes off, they roll around the floor in hysterics.
well, no, any guys out there who think that it's just a mean guy with muscles gets all the girls? No,
Oh.
no. But from chemo farts to like Little Britain, I like bitty bitties.
No, whoosh. I've never watched Little Britain. Have you, Sophie?
Bitty was well, he's probably doing the play on words because of the bits. Little Britain, when there was a character by David Williams who was a grown man and he was posh and he had Geraldine James was his mum in it, and they'd be in these social situations, almost very very sort of upper class, almost royalty, having chats and everything, and all of a sudden David Williams would say Bitty, and Geraldine James would go very posh, not now darling, we're in the middle of this, but Bitty, and he'd carry on going Bitty, she'd go, oh come on then, and he'd get down onto her lap and she'd get a breast out and he'd suckle on it, and everybody would be absolutely revolted at this full-grown man suckling on mother's milk.
That was entertainment, was it?
Yes. Well, they worked on the shock factor, and
Either you're not selling it correctly, right, or I'm not understanding you.
well, DJ Palsy P, he says, couldn't do that now, and you couldn't because at the time it was kind of gross humour, shock factor, quite fresh and new. But now you couldn't do it because most of the stuff that they did is offensive now. It probably was at the time, but we didn't have the guidelines, shall we say?
Bugger. The battery on I've got a battery operated fan and the battery on it's gone.
Oh no!
I've got more batteries. I charged some batteries up today, but they're in another room. So when I go to take a wee, I'll get a new battery. So.
Yes. I was going to say I haven't watched the streams yet, but I had a quick flick through, and I did see you saying that you weren't going to be doing beer de jour every stream because
I'd end up a borderline alcoholic.
Yeah. So I didn't think you were going to be having a beer tonight, but pleasantly
just
one.
Just one.
Just the one.
Just the one. Boy. Because I'm driving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is 5% ABV, which Mickey will probably confirm is probably about 2 UK units, Mickey. So 5% ABV, just the one. I'm not driving for 12 hours, so I should be all right with this. Doing it, but I'm driving tomorrow. As I'm saying, yeah, I'm going out to this National Trust property. Been a member of the National Trust for years, playing with English Heritage, and they actually make good days out. Basically, they really do make good days out, and because you're a member, you don't have to pay to get in. So the fact that we're taking a picnic with us tomorrow means it's actually quite a cheap day out and a good day out.
Yeah. I know Andy's parents were members of definitely National Trust, possibly English Heritage. Bovine spongiform you can confirm. But they used to do lots of days out with, go to the National Trust and that. And we did plan to do that, and we ended up getting rid of the car because it needed stuff doing for the MOT, and we've never replaced it yet. And life got in the way and that. And now that I'm a bit more free, then that's something, once he gets the car again, that's something we're going to do. Yes, National Trust. And Andy, did they also have English Heritage? I knew that they had National Trust. I thought they had English Heritage as well. But yeah, I always see bits and pieces, going around and that. When we went to Berwick on Tweed last year, and we went to Lindisfarne. And
Holy Island.
Yes. Yeah, I loved the drive over to it on the causeway, and then I got there and I wasn't particularly impressed. It was a big car park and lots of walkers. But then I got into the town bit and up where the Abbey, is it? and so that bit up there. And the view across back to mainland, and also to it's castle. It's not a castle. It's a stately home type thing. It's privately owned, but the views were really lovely. So I could see what the attraction was. But oh my God, the walkers! It was totally a mecca for walkers. It was just heaving with people walking around. Absolutely, honestly, proper professional walkers with the walking, I can't remember the
walking
now.
poles. Walking poles.
Walking poles, yeah. I was going to say walking sticks. That's not right. Yeah, walking poles, and their rucksacks and their walking shoes. Not like me, sort of like wandering on up and that's good. And that. No, they're proper walking around with big cameras and walking guides. People saying right, and this bit here, and it's just. Yeah, lovely, but I couldn't live there.
Well, this place is called Nyman's. There is a house. There is a derelict house there as well, but I can't go in there. But I'll be wandering around the gardens in my Lecky wheelchair. So it gets me. Oh, on me.
Oh, that's not a smelly one though.
No, that was a burpee. That was a beer burpee one. It gets me out of the house. So, otherwise, to be honest with you, Tracy, I'd be going absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Being immunocompromised means I'm really stuck indoors. I mean, I can't. I did actually start last month. I did actually start going out to the pub again. There's a local pub near me called the Cockpit, which is a micropub, and they serve real ales. It's absolutely gorgeous. Some of their beers there. And I used to go out there Sunday night, and to be honest, to have one pint, as you do, and ended up getting totally wankered after drinking 6 or 7, as you do.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy that because I could sit. They have a beer garden, but it's out the front, so you can actually sit out the front of this pub and you can watch the world go by and enjoy your pint, without going indoors and without being a menace to other people or putting myself in danger by being around other people. I should have said. I know what I mean. I know what I'm talking about. But
haven't you got some of the videos uploaded to YouTube of those streams?
I've got a couple of. There's one video on YouTube where.
Or was it Reddit?
Yeah. There's one video on YouTube, which is, by the way, it's the URL for YouTube. It's just here. Look, it's like Woody.tube. That will take you to my YouTube. I uploaded the video, the one where I had 424,000 people watching me at the pub. The busiest stream I've ever had. 424,000. I'd love to have 424,000 on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
That will be the business. 424,000 will be absolutely fantastic. We would have arrived if we'd done that on Twitch. But the COVID rate shot up about 3 weeks ago, so even sitting out in the garden is a bit dangerous for me. So I had to come in and I had to stop going up the pub. But hopefully the COVID rates will go down again soon. I'm just taking the battery off my fan while we're doing that. Oh, bloody thing. I've got arthritis as well. The battery goes on the back there and it's got to squeeze it to get it off.
Oh yeah, that looks like a drill battery.
Huh?
Like a drill battery.
It is a drill battery. It's a Ryobi drill battery, but it's something called Ryobi 1, where one battery fits over 150 of their tools.
Oh, well,
so I've got
a lot of. Isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a lot of Ryobi tools, and this battery is one of them. So yeah, I had to stop going out down the pub. But hopefully the COVID rates have now started to come down a bit. That's it. I've got battery off. Let's see. The COVID rates have started to come down a bit now. And it should be safe for me to go back up the pub. There's a streamer that normally joins me sometimes on Twitch, Mr. Mad Mark. He said that when I can go out to the pub, he'll come and join me from the pub, and we'll do an interesting stream. He'll be streaming his stream from the pub at the same time that I'm streaming my stream from the pub.
Oh, that's it. That'll be interesting.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And when I meet up with Mickey, I might actually stream at the time.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That'll be something we could do. No, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that. And just now, just done it, and I can't do it this weekend because, like I say, I'm going out this weekend. And I know that Mickey was busy this weekend. However, there is a possibility it could be next weekend. I'm determined to do it. I'm determined to do it, and it's not. Mickey's up in Lowestoft, and it's only a 3-hour drive from here. Many years ago, many years ago, in a different life, when I was married to my first wife, we used to go on holiday to Great Yarmouth every year. 2 weeks in the summer, last week in July, first week in August. We used to go camping in a little village just outside of Great Yarmouth called Belton. And a little campsite there we found. It was absolutely great. We did it for years. In those days, the A12 ran through Ipswich and Colchester, places like that, and in many places it was a single lane road. So to get up to Great Yarmouth, you have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you were lucky if you got there at 6 o'clock in the evening. That's seriously like 12 hours, Tracy. It was an absolute nightmare going up the A12. This is the 1980s, early 1980s. And Mickey, if you're still watching, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But now, of course, the A12 is either 2 or 3 lane carriageway all the way now. So it literally is. I can get in a car and I can drive up to Mickey. I'm there in under 3 hours.
Oh. So
135 miles, Mickey is. So I'm there in under 3 hours.
God, yeah, that's not bad at all.
But in the 1980s, that would have been an all-day drive. That would have been 10 hours. I've got a whole list of things to talk about, but I've got crossed a lot of off. Go on.
No, you said either about 4 times. Either biggin.
Sorry?
Either biggin.
Have you? Good for you. Do you keep it in the bedside cabinet? or do you keep it under the mattress?
Yeah, or a case that goes through customs.
Oh yeah. When I was off my head on bloody cannabis, that was my second wife. That was my second wife.
That was hysterical. I was not expecting that punchline. So
I wasn't expecting it either. Yeah, I've got terrible handwriting. Okay, and my teachers used to say that my handwriting was like a spider had dipped itself in an inkwell and crawled across the page. And I'm trying to read my handwriting. I'm trying to decide what I've written, and I've got here Stephen Tracy and some gibberish after it. And I've been sitting here thinking, what the hell did I write? And I've just realised what I've written. It's just come to me, right, that it says Stephen Tracy graphic. It's to remind me, because I've got the old people graphic. If you notice, I put the graphic up at the end of the chat for the people that were in the chat. And I've got one with the 3 of us. I've got one with me and Mickey, but I didn't have one with me and you. And of course, it's just me and you tonight. So while we are talking, I'm going to make that graphic so that it comes up tonight.
It's our first official me and you, because the first one that I did was supposed to be me and you, but then Mickey came in to it, and that was good. You know, I'm not complaining, but that became a threesome. And then I haven't done a me and you since. So, although you've done a couple of Mickeys.
So I'm just looking down my list. The next thing I wanted to talk about was abandoned hire bikes. Have you seen the news about those this week, especially what with Westminster Council doing? They're now picking up all abandoned hire bikes and they're crushing them.
No, really?
Yeah, really.
Who's doing it?
Westminster Council.
I mean, I'm glad that they're getting it off of the streets, but that's like taxpayers' money, isn't it? Or something.
No.
Is it the private hire money?
Yeah, it's people like Lime and Uber. I mean, Santander do the Boris bikes. You've also got Lime and you've got Uber and you've got one other company in central London that hire out bikes. Well, I must admit, I'm sick and fed up with seeing them. Even down here, we see occasionally a Lime bike abandoned on the pavement.
Aren't they standalone ones though, the Lime ones? Because I know the Santander ones have to go back into bike racks.
Yeah, but they've got to go back to. They've got to go back. I've never hired one, but because
I thought they were just ones that you just picked up off the street.
Yeah, but you can only pick them up from certain places, and you can only drop them off at certain places. You can't just dump them.
Oh.
At least that's why I understand. I mean, Andrew's just said that he's seen quite a few new ones around. I think some of them are electric. I think some of them are as well.
Mm.
I've never hired one because I've got my own bike. I've got my own electric bike. But yeah, Westminster Council are crushing them. And I must admit, it's Lime is the one that brings to mind. And Uber, Lime and Uber are the two big kinds of bikes. I'm always seeing them down here on the pavements, dumped, just left, and you sort of wonder why they how that happens. But apparently, all the bikes have got GPS trackers on them, so the bike companies can recover them. But Westminster Council are sick and fed up with people not recovering.
That's one thing that don't work out is that if they get abandoned, then what happens about the person who's used their credit card, debit card, or whatever to hire it? I mean, what happens about that? Does it?
I guess they're charged a fee. I don't know. I've never.
I always, especially the Santander ones. And I mean, around here, you got loads of the local youths just getting free bikes somehow. You know, they're riding them around. They're obviously not paying for them. So it's like that's what I was wondering the other day. Just if you dump a bike, then surely. Or if you dump a bike, surely your card is just going to carry on being charged because you haven't taken it back to the place for it to register. But a bit like not touching out at a train station. You touch in, then if you don't touch out, as far as the train station's concerned, you've gone on some big long journey.
I think so. I think that's about right. I think so. I would imagine so. Like I say, I don't know because I've never actually hired a bike, so I honestly wouldn't know.
I said to I showed one of my daughters that I was on TikTok now. I said, "Look, Mama's on TikTok," and she said, "Oh, but aren't you afraid of TikTok trolls?" And I said, "I've been on the internet since 1996.
Yeah.
I've been in chat rooms. I've had an eBay business. You know, like eBay. You know, in the early days, somebody could come and buy absolutely every part. Not buy, but click to purchase every single bit of your stock and not pay and leave a negative for every single one of those immediately.
Yeah.
My business, people have tried to trash my business. I've been on Twitter. I've had every kind of message that you can imagine relating to me being a woman, me being fat, me wearing glasses, everything. You turn a bloke down for marriage who you'd never even met.
Did you get sent many cockpits?
I've had quite a few, yes.
I've never had any. Nobody's ever sent me a cockpit.
No, you need to push your moves together a bit and call yourself Stephanie.
Am I missing out?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just trying to think. Do I need cockpits?
No, you don't need cockpits in your life, seriously.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just so random. And you get the marriage proposals as well. And then when you turn them down, like somebody you've never spoken to before, and you turn them down, and all of a sudden you're a fat bitch, and it's like, well, you wanted to marry me 2 seconds ago, and I've had everything all the way through to like proper death threat, not death threats, but like as in worthless bitch, go and do yourself. And like I said to my daughter, basically what I do, how I deal with it is I swear at the screen and I know where the block button is. And that's it. I forget about it because that's what I mean. I've had everything. So there's nothing that the TikTok trolls can throw at me that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And she went, oh, so you're not going to be sad? I said, no, I'm not going to be sad. They're just idiots. I don't know who. I said, I'd be sad if it was coming from a friend or a family member, this type of talk. But these are just idiots who I've never seen, never known, and never will know. And there's the delete, it's lovely, a keyboard. Delete. Bye.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm the same. I mean, I look at the trolls nowadays, and they all think they're funny and original, and they're doing something for the first time. But they've got to remember that the things they're doing and saying, I was saying nearly 40 years ago. So I've got plenty. I've been on the internet since 1991. I've got plenty of experience with trolls. I mean, what I do now, Tracy, is I divide my day up into half-hour chunks, and I assign trolls a half-an-hour chunk throughout the day, 7 days a week. So it's all. Well, no, it all keeps in order, right? And at the moment, I've got no room because all the slots are gone because I've got so many trolls. So what I do is I tell them to take a ticket and then wait in the queue. And as soon as I've got a slot free, I tell them that then they control me.
That's fantastic. That's a fantastic comeback.
Yeah, that's the easy way. I'm just looking at what Paulsy P has said there. Paulsy P has said bike rentals should be like shopping trolleys. Pay to get it out. You must put £1 or so. To unlock it, then get it back. I think you do. I think you do. I think it's a bit more than £1 though, Paulsy P. But I get what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. Oh my God, Prestel! I forgot about Prestel. I used Kicks and CompuServe, and of course Prestel was about at the same time. So yeah, oh yeah. I used Kicks and CompuServe. I never used Prestel, but yeah. These were the early days. These were the early days of the internet, Tracy, when you were like an embryo.
Well, I was CompuServe in 1996. That was who I started with.
Okay.
And I used AOL chatboards.
Okay.
And the reason that I started on the internet was because I bought a computer, but my mum had moved down to Dorset from London, and my brother, who was, I can't remember how old at the time, but he was a teenager, so he was at school, so he couldn't just like leave and come and visit. And I thought, I'm going to lose. She was with a twat of a boyfriend at the time as well, so I thought I don't want to lose contact with my brother if I'm not particularly talking to my mum. So I set it all up and was like, oh, I've got an email address and everything. So me and my brother were able to. 96. I was how old was I? 24. So my brother would have been about 13. So you can imagine the conversations weren't deep and meaningful with a 13-year-old brother and a 24-year-old sister, but it still meant we kept in touch. It still meant that he could like send me some stupid thing that he's found on the internet. He was actually the one that introduced me to that one, which is Maya he, Maya ho. Do you remember that one? No, that old classic. Anybody listening will know what I'm talking. It was like a sort of plump bloke dancing. I think it was a bloke dancing and mouth singing, lip syncing to this funny song. So he said it's classic. I'll send you the link later.
Okay.
But he sent me the link to that, and it's one of the original internet things that went viral. It was one of the very first ones that went viral. So. Paulsy P says, and Star Wars Kid. Yes, same guy, wasn't it? Vaguely remember. I'll have to see if I can find Star Wars Kid as well.
What was Star Wars Kid?
I think it was the same guy. Paulsy P, explain what Star Wars Kid was. We'll try that one again. Explain what Star Wars Kid was to Steve. Because I've got a vague memory, but it's not as clear as Maya he. Maya ha.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
You might do when you see it, and you'll go, oh yes, it was just Tracy singing really badly out of key.
Okay.
But no, it was. Oh, just found it here. Anyway, so me and my brother kept in contact like that, and that's why I got on there. And I started trying to learn HTML and didn't get very far with it because, it was it's easier now because of things like BB code and stuff like this. But at the time, everything had to be written in code, and it was like learning a foreign language. So I didn't get very far. So I remember the internet stuff, but my brother was on the internet before me, but I just carried on from there, 1996 onwards, and things just sort of slowly got easier with stuff. Anyway, you carry on. You were talking about Prestel and things.
Prestel, yeah.
Prestel.
I just taking aside, XQC, who I believe is the top streamer on Twitch, currently is playing a game called Rust. He currently has 67.8 thousand people watching him, and we've got 6. That's just killed my erection. Yeah, 68 point.
But what you've got to remember, though, Steve, is they're gaming. We're not gaming. We're not doing gaming.
I've watched XQC a couple of times. He's I must admit he's not to my taste, but I can understand why people like him. But he's not particularly to my taste. But good evening, Artistic Toast. Thank you for telling me that. I just happened to notice on the side there that it comes up as recommended channels that XQC has got 68.7 thousand people watching him. Well, I would appreciate the 0.7. And you only watch XQC at midnight, like after 2 a.m. So tell me, Artistic Toast, what sort of weirdness does he get up to? I've watched him, but not really. To be honest, when I've watched him, right, the chat moves so fast that I really can't keep up with it. I really can't keep up with the chat. What sort of weirdness he does? I'm just going to have a quick look at why Star Wars Kids. Some kid played it out with a steel rod. He filmed it, got some other kids in it, and decided to upload it. And there were court cases on it. Okay, I've got no idea.
Ballsy P, I will definitely look it up and link Steve to it, because I haven't got, again, it's still not clear, but I remember it. And there was lots of spoofs on it, and I remember, yeah. And so saying about looking at you saying about the game, if you look, the gaming is the gaming numbers of people watching are higher than the people in the pools. You know.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know, so gaming is more interesting than a lady in a pool.
Well, like Artistic Toast says, that he says what's ever in his mind without any filters. I do know that. Well, you know, Amazon own Twitch. Did you know that, Tracy?
Yes.
Yeah. They're what Artistic Toast? What's a simp? I'm gonna have to Google that. That's what does simp mean in slang? Simp, Urban Dictionary. It's when a male is overly submissive. It's when a male is overly submissive. What they're saying. A word that everyone uses without the correct definition. It means a guy that's overly desperate for women. Well, I'm definitely not a simp then.
Problem is, though, simp does get used incorrectly because, like, sometimes men who respect their woman and treat them nicely, treat them to nice things, you know, and stuff like this, they get called simps. Even sort of like someone who says, "Oh, I really like such and such person. I'm going to subscribe to their OnlyFans," and everyone's like, "Well, that's just simping." Well, no, it's not. It's just showing appreciation, but it gets used wrongly.
Okay, Artistic Toast, she doesn't run after women, so all right, okay. Well, I don't run after women, so where's my 68,000 viewers?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Well, no, but you've got me on the stream, so you're simping me, you see.
I'm not running after you.
You wouldn't be able to. No, you probably wouldn't be able to.
No, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to catch you.
You know what I was going to say? There'd be me creaking down the road with my gammy leg and big fat backside, and there'd be you taking, not taking over.
3.8 miles an hour. My wheelchair is governed to 3.8 miles an hour.
God, that's fast.
It won't go any faster. To be a Class 2 wheelchair, it can't go any faster. Otherwise, I've got to have lights and license plates and everything else. You also don't break stuff around you. No, I don't break stuff around you. Like I say, Artistic Toast, I've seen the guy, and I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's just not to my particular taste. But then, I'm an old fart, and he's not. So.
Perhaps that's where my grandson gets it from. He watches a lot of gamers, and when he gets angry with his game, he smashes things. He's broken mice.
It could well be. It could well be. But then people like XQC, they started at the ground floor of Twitch, Tracy.
Yeah.
And you've got that as well.
The foundation.
And you're right, Artistic Toast. She's old news because I'm looking at League of Legends. Have got 109,000 people watching them. Rocket League has got 142,000 people watching them.
Bloody.
So yeah, XQC is old news now, but he's still raking in the money hand over fist. So I would be happy with 10% of the viewers that he's got, but that's what it is. That's what it is with grinding. I mean, we're doing something on Twitch that has never been done on Twitch, and as far as I can tell, currently isn't being done on Twitch. We are the only old people streaming on Twitch. You know that, Tracy? We are the only old people streaming IRL which is in real life on Twitch. There are plenty of people streaming IRL Twitch, but not many old people streaming. And we're breaking new ground. So
I had a browse. I think it was yesterday, because I remember you saying about look at who's on who's online and everything. And so I had a browse yesterday, and what I did was I took myself to the bottom, you know, so that it was around the numbers that we're getting. And then I sort of like took myself upwards, and there literally isn't. I didn't see anybody over the age of probably 30. But so I carried on looking to see what was what, and there was, you know, quite a lot of gaming. There's people, but so what I did was I clicked on the chatting ones, because we don't do gaming, so they're not weird. But I was clicking on the chatting ones, and they were there with their sort of like 5 or 6 people watching, but they were younger. And you know, fluffier, you know, like there was like fluffy headphones and like cuddling a teddy and stuff like this, and it's like there's nobody our age so far that I've seen. So
the only reason I mentioned it, XQC, is because I've got a list of who's online at the moment, and it's showing me who the top. See you later. Obviously something I said. The top who's online at the moment, and it's showing me that yes, Autistic Toast. I've never seen any old streamers, and it's a new market, and I guess I'm trying to break that particular market, and I don't even know if there is a market on Twitch for old people, but I'm giving it a go. I'm giving it my best shot. It's all I can do. I've got my own reasons for streaming, and I'm not here. I know a lot of people. I mean, I am an affiliate, so I do make some money. I mean, are you ready for this? I actually made on my last stream. I made 30 cents.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. I can retire on that. 30 cents. Woo! Yeah, but I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it because I don't have a social life because of my cancer. I don't have a social life, so this streaming is my social life, and that's why I'm doing it. But I'm actually trying to break new ground, and I'm trying to break new ground on a platform which is known for either gaming or tits in a pool. No, seriously, Trey, have you looked?
Put it, though.
Hey?
It's the way you put it.
What, tits in a pool?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, right? I don't understand why people want to pay women to lick a microphone and put their name on a blackboard. I'm just bizarre like that. I just, you know, I look at these ASMR channels, and I look at these women showing their cleavage off in badminton balls, and I don't want to give them money. I'd sooner spend that on a Pornhub subscription.
Yeah, but see, that's what people would say. These guys are simps. They're simping after her, and it's kind of like the hope. She doesn't give any. They, the ones that I've watched, don't give any hope. As in, oh yeah, pay me and I might meet you. They don't. No. But it's the mentality of, if I give money, then she's going to like me more than the ones who aren't giving her money, and stuff like that. So. It's
very strange. It's very strange. Paul GP says, he's 48 old. Well, you're younger than me, and I think you're younger than Tracy. I mean, I'm 62, so you're 14 years younger than me, and you're about 72 years younger than Tracy. So, you know.
I look so bloody good for my age.
Yeah, she does. She looks good for a woman of 97. Twitch was originally made as a gaming live stream platform. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But it's evolved, and I've the only thing I don't really play games, and I really haven't got very nice tits. So the only thing I can offer is my personality, and that's why we do a talk show. That's why I've got Tracy and Mickey to come along and help me, because I figure there must be a market for it because nobody's doing it. Either that, or nobody's doing it because there is no market for it. But the only way to find out is to do it. I see Andrew's playing about with emotes there, so
Oh no, he's found. That's so
I've
funny.
got to.
He's found. What's his bloody name? The painter.
Who?
Bob Ross, the painter. It looks
Yeah.
like Bob Ross, the painter. And the reason I'm laughing is because we watched a film last night, which had Vincent Price in it, and one of the characters, he played different characters in it, and one of the characters was had a Bob Ross type wig on, and Andy couldn't get past the guy who looks like Bob Ross. So that's hilarious. Sorry, do carry on.
Yeah, sorry, I've got no idea who Bob Ross is. You might well be talking different names. Yeah, I know. I realised Twitch was originally a gaming platform. I think all the platforms are gaming platforms. I've not really investigated it that much.
Can I just reply before you? Palsy P says, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, I said that on stream the other day, and Steve was like, "Well, how do you know it wasn't?" And
How do you know it wasn't? Yeah, were you there?
And I was like, "Well, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't." He was going, "No, I don't. You weren't there." So Palsy P, he's been very gentle with you. He was being very spiky with me that day. My body was smacked. It just reminds me of when my brother used to get spam on his website, and my mum used to email the spammers, telling them off. And my brother would be like, "Why are you doing that?" And she, "Oh, well, they need to know these people." And I like, he was saying, "But they're not real people."
Oh, excuse me. Even genii. Is that a word? Genii, is that a word?
Is it genii or geniuses?
Yeah, the geniuses don't sound right.
Well, it's like the word octopus, plural for octopus, everyone thought was octopi, and it's not. It's octopuses. Oh, I've got some fire engines going down the road. Yes. Don't know if you can hear them.
No, I can't.
No. I've just got to keep an eye because it's the smell of burning is
Okay.
not as bad.
Obviously, something is going on.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was earlier, but like I said, it's always if it goes straight on, I'm all right. It's gone straight on.
A question for you? Did you all enjoy looking at Tracy's arse just then?
Side view. Side view.
I thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, see,
because somebody else here said they always go for the bottom.
Yeah, because chronic illnesses and things like this, people think that arthritis gets worse when it's cold and better when it's warm, and I'm telling you now that sometimes, depending on humidity and other factors, arthritis can actually get worse when it's hot, and just because of the way that your body reacts to the heat and things like this, and because when it's cold, you think, oh, put a hot water bottle on it, and that's fine, but you can't do it the other way around when it's so hot and the arthritis has a flare up, and it makes the arthritis flare up. So,
well, the thing about arthritis is it's lucky you haven't got all of it.
What? A full
arthritis. Oh,
yeah.
Never mind. If you've got to explain it, it's not funny.
An arthritis, I don't have a full ritis.
Can I just right? This is my wallet, Tracy. All right.
Yeah.
My arthritis. I've got arthritis in the base of my thumbs, just there.
Yeah.
And just there on each hand. It's so bad that I can't actually get any cards out of my wallet.
That's a shame. So you have to pay for everything.
Yeah, I have to get Sean to get my cards out. I have to get my Sean to get my cards out. Although when I got petrol today, it wasn't a problem because I've also got Google Pay on my phone, and I've got my top credit card set as my
See, that
default card.
That's all. That's I've only had one glass of wine. something that people don't think about when they think of like the gadgety techie type things, and it makes their lives easier. But you saying that you've got your main card loaded into your Google Pay, so you can pay with your phone. That's going to make anybody with mobility issues. It's going to make it so much easier.
Oh, it
You
does.
don't have to fuck about with pulling cards out. You can just get your phone.
Yeah, I just tap the phone.
Yeah.
So, or my watch.
Yeah.
I've got it on my watch as well, so I can just do that. The only problem arises, and it happened to me the other week, that even though we've got £100 contactless limit, once in a while my credit card insists that I actually enter my card and tap a pin in. And that happened to me in a petrol station the other week. All I had on me was my phone, and I put in 50 quid's worth of petrol into the car. And I went to pay for my phone. It said, "Oh, please enter your card and please put your card in and enter your pin." I thought, well, I can't.
Yeah.
I've only got the phone with me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't embarrassed because my credit card is my primary, but I've also got a secondary card, and I just switched to the secondary card on Google Pay and paid with that. But it was a momentary panic there. I thought, well, I can't actually physically put the card in because I haven't got the card. It's in my wallet at home.
What?
And thank you, Palsy P, by the way. Thank you for helping. But no, you've got fans in the UK. I do watch you occasionally. I will try and chat to you more, but I will watch you occasionally. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
But sorry, carry on, Tracy.
I'll go back to the card thing in a minute, but I just wanted to say about what Palsy P said about most of the fans being from America. We've had conversations with people on Reddit who have been in America, and they've enjoyed coming to this stream because we are like proper Brits talking, sometimes using slang, and having loads of questions asked. We don't get so many on Twitch yet, but on Reddit, lots of Americans throwing questions at us, asking about English culture, British culture, British TV programs and things. So even though your fans are in America, they may well be interested in talking to a Brit. But what I was going to say about cards was my debit card is a pain in the arse. I use it regularly.
You're using it wrong then, Tracy. All right, you're supposed to put it in the machine.
I'm swiping it in the wrong place.
If it's a pain in the arse, you're using it wrong.
I'm swiping it in the wrong place. That's what it is.
That's what you're swiping it wrong, yeah.
But yeah, so I use it all the time, obviously, in my area where I live, and I use it online to buy things and pay for my Tesco delivery. And when I go out to the local pub or the local shop, it gets used all the time. And about half the time, I have to type instead of tapping it, I have to actually put it in and enter my number. It was you saying the PIN number that made me remember. And then last year in end of summer, beginning of autumn, I went to Berwick upon Tweed and then Scotland for it was a sort of 9 or 10 day trip, and my card was accepted everywhere, like ping ping ping, tap tap tap, ping ping, lovely, beep beep, everything absolutely fine. Yeah, so the minute I got back to London and started using my card here again, it was being rejected again. And I couldn't understand that. I could go all the way to Scotland and it's absolutely fine. Ping, ping, tap, tap, ping, ping everywhere without having... But I was having to put it in, type my card the minute I got back to London. It was just ridiculous. And I've actually phoned my bank about this and I've said, why is it that it doesn't like being used in the area that I live? And yet I can go to Scotland and it's quite perfectly happy. And they go, oh, well, there's nothing wrong on the account. It's absolutely fine. And we can't really send you a new one yet. And I'm like, oh, get it.
A lot of the Americans, we had one on the stream last night that kept wanting me to say water bottle.
What is that about?
They just like the way that we say it with a British accent, water bottle.
Oh.
They just like the British accent. So that's just what they like. So
might have been one of their kinks.
Yeah.
Going on to different streams and saying, say water bottle. Yeah. Ah, lovely, clip that up. They've got tens of thousands of clips of different people going, water bottle,
yeah.
Water bottle. What?
I know veggies are healthy. They are indeed healthy. I had some vegetables tonight. I had meatballs tonight. my partner cooked meatballs, mashed potato, and mixed veg, which was carrots, peas, sweet. I love sweet corn. I love sweet
That
corn.
sounds nice. Was it like the Swedish meatballs?
Yeah, Swedish meatballs.
When you said
Very similar.
meatballs, I was expecting you to say pasta, but when you said mashed potato, I went, "Oh my god, it's IKEA." It's Swedish.
Yeah, it is. They are. They are. I think they were IKEA ones.
Oh,
So they come with the sauce and mashed. No, they weren't the rice ones. Turlo, the rice ones.
yeah, but they
And it comes.
still do Swedish meatballs.
Bear with me. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second. Alexa, set hallway red.
Okay.
Right. Sorry.
Ooh.
No. No. My hallway light is red. I set my hallway light red so that Sean knows that I'm broadcasting.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So she knows that I'm broadcasting. So she knows to knock on the door
So she
before
knows
she
not
comes
to
in.
burst in calling you all the wankers under the sun.
Or showing her tits off like she did the very first. Like it was a very hot day, right? And she's like me, right? When it's hot, right? I mean, when this broadcast is over, I shall strip off,
Same.
and I should be walking around in just my shorts. Well, Sean was walking around in just her knickers the other day, and she comes straight into my den, without thinking. Of course, I was broadcasting live, and she showed her tits off to the world.
Fabulous.
So,
Fabulous.
so for her own benefit, I put the light on just so that she's warned that I'm actually live on air.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Excellent.
Yeah. As you can tell, I've got one of those. Light bulbs that does about 1 million different colours.
Yeah.
And I set it up from Alexa.
My youngest daughter's got at least one. She might have two because of the boys. And my brother's got one in every room of the house, I think, because he's very geeky like that. So, and he wouldn't mind me calling him geeky if he was watching. So.
Just for a minute while
no problem. Whisper it, Paulsy P says.
I will do Paulsy P. Just bear with me. I have to Dropbox it. So I have to Dropbox it.
So I was talking earlier about my dad who worked for BBC Radio Drama for over 30 years. This was earlier in the stream. That's what I was saying this to Steve, and he did a lot of radio dramas. He was he ended up being senior studio manager. He did loads of sound effects and everything. So where I was going with that was that if anybody remembers the original BBC recording from the late 70s, early 80s of Lord of the Rings, the radio program, the radio drama, my dad did the technical presentation on that. So all the sound effects and all the sound levels and all the voices, the recordings of the voices and everything like that, everything you hear was all engineered by my dad. So that was his biggest claim to fame. Like I said, he did loads. A lot of the stuff that you would have heard during the 60s, 70s, 80s on Radio 4 drama would have been done by him. But his biggest one, he said, took years, was Lord of the Rings. And you can still get it on Amazon and stuff like that. So literally, if you see David Greenwood technical presentation or studio manager or sound engineering, stuff like that, they usually say technical presentation. David Greenwood, and that's my dad. So that's where I was going with that. That was his biggest project, but that's not as high up as he got in the company. But he was extremely well, well respected, and I didn't know that at the time. It was only once he died and loads of people started messaging me, and even famous people. Miriam Margolyes shared my Facebook post and said what a wonderful man and it's a loss and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, Miriam Margolyes. So people started saying it. So I was trying to say to the, especially his producers and things, give me some memories of what you remember him, BBC Dave, and so I got some nice sort of stories back of what a generous man he was. I showed my sister and my mum. My sister was like, well, we didn't see any of this generosity. So So yeah, so that's so yeah, having said all that, that's you know, I'm proud of the stuff. You know, it's amazing that I can Google his name and he comes up in credits and things. So it's she is Palsy P. This is what I mean when I was like Miriam Margolyes shared my Facebook post and said, "Oh, you know, something like what a loss of this dear man," and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Miriam." I love her so much. I'm obviously not going to swear like her, but I love the fact that she goes on TV programs. She does not give a crap and says the C word on morning programs.
I can picture Miriam Margolyes' face, but I can't remember what she was famous for.
Miriam Margolyes.
Was she a lesbian?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was she famous for being a lesbian?
Not particularly. She wasn't a career lesbian, shall we say? But she's always been with women all her life. One of the most recent things she's been in, Call the Midwife. She was one of the nuns. She's very, very jolly hockey sticks, very much like that.
Yeah, I know her face, very, very round face.
Yes, and
curly hair. Yeah. I know the face.
She's been in a lot of things. She was in Tales of the Unexpected. She was in one of those. She was in I don't know if it was a series in the 1980s that was by Faye. Got that name wrong. Faye Weldon. Life and Loves of a She-Devil. The TV series of that she was in.
Okay.
She's been in loads of things.
Did that star Dennis Waterman?
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So there was Dennis Waterman, and they were in the Bell 2 Lighthouse. And there was Dennis Waterman, and there was I can't remember her name now. I can see her face, but the one that he was shacked up with. And then there was his wife, and again that's another one that can't. Wow, why can't I?
Oh, the Rock Follies bird.
Yeah. What's the name of the?
Rula Lenska.
No, that's who he was married to, but not in real life, but not in the program.
Rula Lenska was his wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that who you meant?
No. In the series, he was married to someone, and he went off with another woman and ended up living in her tower by the sea, and it was the Bell 2 Lighthouse near Beachy Head.
Oh, right, okay.
It was that building that they used at the time. Obviously, the lighthouse was out of commission by then. But I always loved it. Anyway, the ex-wife who he left, she befriended Miriam Margolyes' character. I think Miriam Margolyes, she didn't play many leads, but she was always very supporting, or she was supporting actress, but not the lead, if that makes sense. But she's had some good parts. They were good parts. It wasn't like she had 2 lines and then buggered off again. She was actually doing. Oh, hello.
Yes, I'm just looking at that. That's just nicely changed gear. I just nicely changed gear. From the Dynamic Pinhead. I love the Wetherspoons restaurants. Well, they're pubs actually, not restaurants. But I personally love Wetherspoons as well. I mean, round here, all the local pubs around here are either £4.50 or £5.50 for a pint of beer, except one where it's £7. But the local Wetherspoons is only £3 a pint, and it's quite nice. You can actually get a good meal and a good beer in a Wetherspoons for under 20 quid. However, Wetherspoons do attract a certain level of clientele, and where I am, sorry, Tracy.
Sometimes.
Yeah, some Wetherspoons do. Where I am, I'm in a very posh area, so. But I've been in other areas. I went to Wetherspoons in Sheffield, called the Banker's Draft, and I was advised not to go in there. And I thought, oh, it's a Wetherspoons, you know. I'm British. You can't tell me what pubs to go into. And I went in there, and we sat down, and we had a pint, and we had something to eat. And for the whole time I was there, I kept thinking, I'm going to be stabbed in a minute.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Some of the Wetherspoons do, but I do like them. I'll tell you what I do like about Wetherspoons, and I've done it before, right? You stream from a Wetherspoons, and you tell them the table number, and they buy you your drinks. Or they order peas, which is the cheapest thing you can get on the restaurant, so you end up with about 20 portion of peas.
Can I
But
just
yeah,
can I just quickly ask the dynamic pinhead? You came in with that. I love the Wetherspoons restaurants. Have you been watching previous streams, or have you watched the streams that we've got? You know, the recordings of the streams that we've got up, because we've spoken about Wetherspoons Pubs before and the food in them. So if you have watched them, thank you and welcome. And if you haven't watched them, welcome anyway. But go and have a watch and see what we were chatting about then. But we could talk about Wetherspoons now, because I love a Wetherspoons breakfast. I had one this morning. Oh, and Steve's gone quiet, so I'll talk about my Wetherspoons breakfast. It was the large English breakfast that I had. I love a Wetherspoons breakfast. It does set you up for the day, and they do some good stuff. So dynamic pinhead. So another question for you. What's your favourite food on the menu, on the Wetherspoons menu? I mean, we all know that it's all kind of ping and ding. There's microwave stuff, deep fried stuff, but there are stuff that they actually show to the grill. And one of those would be the burgers. And then you've got half a roast chicken now, things like that. So, Palsy P said, fun fact, she voiced stuff for the Storyteller magazine tapes. Oh, and I'll tell you what else she did, which I don't know if you'll know, Palsy P, but Steve might remember it. Do you remember the programme called Monkey?
Yes, I do.
She did.
She also played. Miriam Margolyes also played a witch, didn't she?
In
one of the kids' programs, she was always dressed as a witch, painted green.
no, are you thinking of the Rod Hull one?
Hey?
Rod Hull? That wasn't her.
No, yeah,
But
yes.
The voice thing she did for Monkey, she did the English speaking bit, overdub for most of the females on Monkey.
Right, okay.
Andrew said, and yeah, that's not Miriam Margolyes. But yeah, well done, thank you for remembering that.
Grot bags. Oh no, it wasn't Miriam Margolyes, was it? Yes, it was. Yeah. Grot bags. It was Miriam Margolyes. I've just googled it. It was her. I was right.
Hang on, I'm going to Google it myself now.
She did play grot bags. Witchy in Witchy.
Can you see my face?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, it's not. No, it's not. Her name was Carol something.
Well, I'm looking at images of Miriam Margolyes played Witchy in something that my kids used to watch.
Okay. It wasn't grot bags then. Witchy. Oh, here we go. It's Harry Potter.
What? No. It was
Worst witch.
She played a witch.
The Green Witch in Emu was somebody called I just got it then. Called Carol Lee Scott, and she does look quite a lot like Miriam Margolyes, and people are saying like she's come up as a picture when it's not her. And I can't.
Jackanory Playhouse, 1972 to 1985. She played the witch. I told you. I knew she did.
Okay, there we go. Jackanory
Playhouse.
Yeah. That's okay. Playhouse. Oh, okay.
See?
Yeah.
I knew it. That's where I remember from, because my kids used to watch it.
Oh,
Kids used to watch it. Or my eldest son used to watch it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
So
I was right.
Yeah.
You can all say sorry and bam, huh?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I honestly I thought you were talking about grot bags, and it wasn't. And
It was called Witchy. So it was Jackanory Playhouse. I do remember. So that would be my son's.
Monkey.
So yeah, and I do remember Monkey, but I remember it, but I didn't watch it that much.
Look at what Palsy P said. You remember Rent a Ghost? Yes.
Yes, I remember
Oh,
Rent a Ghost again. That was one of my
Claypole.
kids' television programs.
Claypole. And again, there was a witch in that. She was a Scottish witch. And there was the guy who wasn't he a new ghost, but he couldn't walk through walls or something. He used to get frustrated. Yeah, I loved Rent a Ghost. I still remember the music and the way it went. Rent a Ghost.
Have we lost the dynamic pinhead? That's a shame.
Well, he came in and left.
Yeah.
It's just he just wanted to. They just wanted to make a
point about Wetherspoons. I
guess. Obviously going around telling everybody that they love Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
It could be one of my daughters or one of my daughter's boyfriends, but probably not.
How many boyfriends has she got?
I've got one of my daughters, then apostrophe, like 2 daughters.
Oh, okay. Not daughter apostrophe s.
No, it's daughter.
But daughter's apostrophe, right? Okay. How many boyfriends she got? She's polygamous, is she? I must do that again, Tracy. I might do that once the COVID rates have gone down. I will do a stream from the Wetherspoons and see what I can blag. But I'll end up with about a dozen different P's. But see if I can blag a night's full of drinks. But I'll have a go at that. But I've never streamed on Twitch from my mobile, so I don't know if you can actually do it. I've streamed on Twitch. I've streamed on Reddit from my mobile. But I've not actually streamed on Twitch from my mobile, so I'm not sure how to do it. But I might give it a go. But that's got to wait for the COVID rates to come down.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we'll have to do a test.
I was going to say that although Wetherspoons have gardens, we all know what will happen in a Wetherspoons once you start putting your gear up and showing that you're streaming. You will have the entire pub who are going out for a cigarette laying all over you.
Yeah, sticking their face. Yeah, sticking their face in, saying hello. Yeah, I know exactly what it's like in Wetherspoons. Yeah. Yeah, I can cope with that though. That's not a problem.
Clientele. Yeah, I know, but you don't want it with your COVID. The risk of COVID.
Yeah,
right?
I know. So that's what I mean. I've got to wait for the rates to come down.
Yeah.
But it's not just Wetherspoons. There's a local pub to me called the Queen's Head, which has got an app where you can order online. And we were at Harvester. You could do Harvester. You can do the same in Harvester now.
Oh.
So if you're in Harvester, you can stream from a Harvester and maybe get someone to buy your meal.
Oh.
Yeah. Long as it's not garlic prawns. No, going back to when I was a cab driver, right? I got this job, and it said pick up at the Tiger's Head back door. So I drove round to the back to the Tiger's Head, right? And this message come over on my unit and said, please open your back door. Okay. So I opened up my back door and left it open. And I'm sitting there minding my own business. All of a sudden, I felt somebody get in the back of the car. I looked in the mirror and I couldn't see anybody, in the back door shut. And I heard this disembodied voice said, drive, mate, drive. And I said, where? He said, I don't care where. He said, drive. So I just drove off. And we got about a mile away from the pub, and he sat up and put his seatbelt on. He said, he said, thank God for that. And he looked at me and he said, I think you think I've done a runner, don't you? And I said, well, no, not at all. I didn't think anything. I said, I stopped thinking things. He said, well, I haven't done a run. He said, I'll tell you what it is, mate. He said, I've met this bird on a dating site, and I've been out for our very first date tonight, and I've taken her to this pub. And the evening was going great. She's a lovely woman. That's going great. And I said, look, as soon as we're getting on to it, let's have a meal. She said, yeah, I agree with you. And he said, I'll pay for it. He said, no problem. And the menu come over, and I ordered mine, and she ordered hers, and we ordered starters. And he said, I ordered fried chicken wings, and she ordered garlic prawns. And I said, and he said, I couldn't wait to get out of there. He said, what sort of lunatic orders garlic prawns on your first date?
True, but you couldn't have liked her that much to bail over garlic prawns.
He just bailed out on her because she'd ordered garlic prawns, and I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, I agree that she should have been thinking, well, there might be action going on later.
Yeah.
But if he liked her that much, I obviously just wanted to bonk her because, he wasn't going to get any action.
Good evening, Mark.
he wouldn't have
Go
been
on.
able to get close to her because of the garlic prawns. But
Yeah.
so if he liked her that much, he could have just been like, okay, I'm just going to walk you home. I won't have that coffee tonight. Thank you very much. But tomorrow or whatever, you know what I mean? I'll call you.
Yeah, he just left her. And apparently, right, he left her there, right? Not only because he left her there with the bill.
See, that's terrible. Garlic
I
prawns.
know. It just. I know. That's. As soon as you said about that, that just reminded me of that time.
I would rather that he got in your cab for more nefarious reasons. Like, yeah, I'm doing a runner because there's a drug dealer after me or something like that. He's left a woman. They were getting on really well, and she's probably thinking, this is great. I'll order the garlic prawns.
Yeah.
The garlic prawns here are great. You must try them.
He said, who orders garlic prawns on a first date? He said, from that point onwards, I knew she wasn't from me. He said, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And I thought, this poor woman's probably sitting in this pub, right, eating her garlic prawns, thinking, where's he gone? You know.
Oh, so
That's not the most bizarre thing that happened to me as a cab driver, right? A couple of other bizarre things happened. I pulled up for this job, right, and the guy knocked on my window and he said, are you in my cab? And I said, yeah. He said, can you get out for a minute? I want to see your shoes. I said, what? He said, I want to see your shoes. I said, is this some sort of weird sex thing? He said, no. He said, seriously, I want to see your shoes. So I opened up my door and I stuck my legs out. And I actually happened to have a pair of DMs on, Dr. Martens shoes, not boots, Dr. Martens shoes, because they're nice and comfortable. He said, yeah, that's fine. And he jumped in the back of the car. And I said to him, I said, look, mate, I said, I'm sorry, but I've never, ever had anybody ask to see my shoes. He said, what is the problem? He said, well, if you had flip-flops on, I wouldn't have got in your car.
Oh!
Said,
safety first.
Seriously? He said, yeah. He said, people who drive in flip-flops cause accidents. And he said, so many of you Uber guys wear flip-flops that you're dangerous. And I won't get in a car with anybody that wears flip-flops.
I'm not getting in a cab again for a long time. The last time I did, I got COVID.
Yeah. So, and the most bizarre one I had was I picked a guy up in Chelsea, and we went out to Grove Park, not the Grove Park near me. There's another Grove Park up near Heathrow Airport. And he got in the car and he said, don't worry about sat-nav. He said, what sat-nav are you using? I said, I'm using Waze. And I said, but I know where Grove Park is. It's down the A4. I said, I can find Grove Park. You just have to tell me the last couple of streets. He says, all right. He said, I'll direct you the whole way. And he said, see that star up there? That's Arcturus. He said, head for that. Oh, okay. I'm driving along. He said, right. He said, over there, that's the Big Dipper. Turn left at the Big Dipper. Okay. He said, that's the North Star. Then when you reach the North Star, he said, go straight on and then turn right.
I don't believe
He spent the whole fucking journey, right? The whole journey directing me by the stars. It was the longest 45 minutes of my life.
God.
Right? The longest 45 minutes of my life.
And of course, he was more right than your sat-nav.
Yeah, and he was I'll tell you what he was more off his head on drugs than my sat-nav. I just absolute craziness. Because he's sitting in the back of my car, right? And my car doesn't have a sunroof. So how the hell he could see the stars in the first place, I don't know. But it was just absolute craziness. I just ignored him and just followed the sat-nav. But it was just the longest 45 minutes of my life. And it was as close as I've ever come, right? And of course, every time he gave me a direction by the start, he'd laugh, right? And it's the closest I've ever come to beating somebody to death with a tyre iron.
I can just imagine it. It's like, you're right, see that constellation over there? That's Taurus. Head for that.
Yeah. It's the nearest I've come to beating somebody to death with a tyre iron. So, Mr. Mad Mark is a friend of mine. Hello, Mark. How are you doing?
Yes, I saw you there.
I can
Mark.
see you
Hello.
there. Huh?
I saw Mark. You were talking away, and I saw Mark saying good evening, and I thought I'd wait for a break in the conversation to say hello, Mark. I don't think I've spoken to you before, but I have seen you. I watched the streams on Catch Up, and I've seen you chatting to Steve, and I know that you and Steve are planning on a pub stream at some point, so I'll look forward, like simultaneous pub stream.
Simultaneous pub stream. I'll stream my stream from the pub.
Yeah,
He'll stream his stream from the pub. We'll see how it goes. That sounds like fun, but it's working. It's working a Sunday out because he He can't. It's either this Sunday or next Sunday he can't do because he's having sex.
That's a good enough reason.
Yeah, yeah. You can see his diary, can't you? Open it up. Oh, what am I doing Sunday? Sex. Right. Okay. So that's what he's doing. I can't remember if it's this Sunday he's having sex or next Sunday.
Lucky Mark.
Well, yeah. That's all I can say. All I can say. Lucky man. But yeah. So when is he having sex, Mark? Is it tomorrow or next Sunday? I can't quite remember because I don't write your sex life down in my diary. There you go. Next Sunday he's having sex. Right, it's next Sunday he's having sex.
I just had a vision of Sean cracking the family.
So what is it? Is it this Sunday? Is it a DIY job this Sunday?
I like that. This Sunday DIY. Next Sunday sex.
Yeah, it's a DIY job this Sunday.
I just had a vision of Sean cracking open your diary and going, right, so okay, I see Mark shagging next Sunday.
The amount of chemicals I have to put in my body for cancer treatment, like Tracy, right? She would laugh because with the amount of chemicals I have to put in my body, all right, the only way I can get certain parts of my body to go hard is to stick it in the freezer for an hour. Oh, so if she saw me in my diary next Sunday shagging, she'd look at it and go, "What the?"
Oh no, but she wouldn't. It would say Mark shagging. It would say Mark sex or Mark.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Mark shagging.
Yeah, because you got to keep tags on his diary, so it says Mark shagging, and mind you, that could be even worse. You'd be like, "What? Who is this Mark you're shagging?"
Good evening, goal lady. I'm a West Ham fan, as it happens, because I'm a Cockney. The only reason I've got red on is because it was the nearest clean shirt that I had to before I came on the stream. It's the first one that I grabbed. It was on the top of the pile, so no particular reason. I'm definitely not a Man United fan. I'm a West Ham fan.
I'm actually wearing red and white, and that's England
or Arsenal.
That is England. I don't do county football, but I didn't. Mine wasn't football related, and I didn't know that Steve was going to be wearing red either as well. Because what I did was I thought, "Oh, it's bloody hot. What shall I wear? Oh yes, I've got a red vest top, and there we go."
Yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? Terrible.
Oh, where the hell have you gone?
I'm doing things. I'll be back in a second.
I think he might be taking his top off.
Yes.
He's disappeared. He's taking his top off. I may have guessed that right.
You definitely guessed it. You definitely guessed it right. Okay. You definitely guessed it right. So just to avoid confusion, because I really don't like being called a Man United fan.
We don't.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. We see. Look, red, white, and blue. Union flag.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go.
We didn't want to see Steve with his moobs out, and you know his moobs are bigger than my boobies.
Oh, they are. Are you fondling yourself, Tracy? Have you been fondling yourself?
What, doing that?
Yeah.
Oh,
because if that's the case, I need to change the Twitch because at the moment we're just chatting. I need to change it to playing with my tits in the swimming pool.
Look, a girl needs a hobby.
Okay. Thank you for following me, Goal A. Right, okay. So yeah. Mark, TOS. Go on. I've no idea.
I think he's pointing out that I shouldn't be touching myself on stream.
Right. Okay. You're going to get banned for doing that. Yeah, you're going to get banned for doing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. So stop it.
I know. It's amazing that women have got bits that we're just not allowed to go anywhere near. So, that was a general sort of complaint about the not so much Twitch, but sort of like the double standards on some sites. Because I know that there's a pop singer called Lizzo, Lizzo, and she's a large lady. She's got big thighs, big bum, big boobs, and everything like this. And she put something on her TikTok. She put a video on her TikTok, a couple of videos on her TikTok with her in a swimming costume, and they got banned. They got removed by TikTok because she's not supposed to be in a swimsuit. And she's like, so what about all the other women wearing swimsuits? Why am I not allowed to wear a swimsuit? And you know, some sites just have an issue with certain women of certain sizes doing certain things, whereas other women of other sizes doing the same things don't ever get banned or their videos removed and things like this. So yeah, exactly, Paulsy P. Actually, Paulsy P, I do know that the rules for the hot tub is that if I was in a bikini, I would have to be either by a pool or by next to a pool or next to a hot tub. So by me doing that with no hot tub around, even though they can't see the one behind me because we've got it green screened. Yes, Gole, I can't. However you pronounce that, I'm sorry.
I can solve that problem. Carry on talking for a minute, Tracy.
What? Solve what problem? Oh,
just carry on talking for a minute.
Yeah. So I do know that if I wouldn't. My God, just the thought that you'd have to pay me a lot of money to get in a bikini on any stream. But to be hot tub, by a pool, by the sea, to wear a bikini on a Twitch stream, you have to be like obviously on holiday or by a hot tub or by a paddling pool or something like that. Oh, but Bovine Spongiform is trying to pronounce the Golae. How do you pronounce Golae? What would you like to be called?
Tracy, if you see the Facebook chat.
Oh,
hang on.
I'll look in a minute. Yeah, Golae means whale in Korean, not the Quran. Golae says, I think ASMR streams are the weird ones. I don't know if you've ever tried listening to it on headphones, but if they're doing it properly, what you should have is, you know, that it goes in one ear and it goes in that ear, and then it's focused on, but you know, stereo and things like that, and they do all sort of different sounds, and everybody is triggered by a different sound, and not everybody gets triggered by ASMR. I generally don't. I mean, a nice piece of music triggers me, but that's not ASMR. But some people, when they hear certain sounds, can have a physical reaction, and it's not necessarily erotic, but it's sensual, or relaxing, or it's just definitely like if you've ever had the hairs stand up on the back of your neck if someone has said something or maybe whispered in your ear or something like that. It's that concept, and a lot of people enjoy it because otherwise there wouldn't be so much ASMR out there. But again, I'm a bit like you. I don't get it because it doesn't do anything for me, but I understand the concept. So Bovine Spongiform says some of the ASMR examples really irritate me.
They irritate me.
Yeah, but what examples would you give, Bovine, of the irritating ones for you, and you, Steve? But I just want to go to Mark and say, starving but nowhere has what I want. Yeah, I find that, especially coming up to this time of night, it's like everywhere's going to shut and I haven't got anywhere. Paul DP says, I hate people whispering in general. It makes me want to punch them. Yeah, I'm like that with whistling. Anyone who whistles, just don't bloody whistle, right? And, all right. Bovine Spongiform says, some actually hurt my ears. Hypercrisp packet rustling. Yeah, see, I don't get that either. It's just, that's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, see, I can't get that. This is Steve making everyone need a wee now. We're up to double figures. Woo!
Right, sorted.
Excellent. That's going to make everyone see.
We're sorted. All right. Okay, we are sorted.
some of them lick the mic. Like, why do you do this? Because it's similar to the concept of someone kissing or whispering in your ear, but you've got the visuals as well. So a pretty lady licking or clicking or near the mic gets some guys enjoying in that same kind of I'm whispering sexually in your ear. So it's becoming borderline sexual there. So.
And yes, 10 viewers. Wow, come and say hi. Join in the chat, guys. And I agree. This ASMR, I really don't get at all. I've tried watching them, and they do nothing for me. They do nothing for me at all. So
I completely get the concept. I'm the same as you, Steve. I get the concept because it's triggering sounds that people enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything apart from music that does anything physically to me. I'm even sitting here trying to, go through my memory bank of sounds, and I just can't even think of anything apart from music that has given me a physical reaction. Sounds wise. So, Palsy P wants you to say bottle of water again.
Yeah, bottle of water. There you go. It's because I'm a Cockney, and the way I say it, bottle of water. But there we go. Mad Mark, I'm sorry, you're starving. Nowhere has what you want. No, because of course everything shuts at 10 o'clock around here, doesn't it? We did some shopping in Iceland a couple of days ago. And what Iceland do is they've got this kebab meat, frozen kebab meat, and the missus got me some pita bread this morning. So what I'm going to do when I finish this stream is I'm going to get the pita bread and I'm going to heat that up, and I'm going to get a couple of these strips of kebab meat. I'm going to heat that up and I'm going to stick it inside there, and I'm going to have a kebab.
Oh, damn right! Excellent. Any salads? Any dressings?
No, I like my kebabs like I like my women, naked and meat only. So. I just make meat and onions, and I'll do some onions, meat, onions, and a little bit of lemon juice.
There you go, salad and dressing.
Sorry?
There you go, salad and dressing.
It is quite nice. I don't put lemon juice on my women. Well, I do if they ask, but otherwise, and I don't cover them onions either. But
no, only on a special occasion.
Have I, with my background now, have I ticked the pool box?
It's making me feel a bit seasick actually, but I'm trying to ignore it. I've got a pool. You've got what looks like water that's got. It's quite nice actually looking at it. I'm okay if I look at it, but if I look at you, there's all this movement going on in the background, and it's making me feel a bit motion sick. So I'm not going to be able to look at it for longer.
Okay.
Can you remove it, because it is actually making me feel a bit motion sick?
There's no pleasing some people.
No, it's the motion. I do get motion sick watching. Oh, geez, that's better. I can't watch people playing computer games because the motion makes me motion sick. It's annoying. Mad Mark says wanted pho. I don't know I've never known how to pronounce that. Sorry. No places have it now, so looking for somewhere with milkshakes. What, proper milkshake? Or ice cream milkshake? Or blended with crushed ice milkshake? Gole says Aquaman. And Bovine Spongy Form says maybe have a slow flowing stream in the background. We'll put.
I'm looking. Remember I can only. I've got to use images that I've got a license for. So. I can't just grab images off the internet. I've got to go to one of the services that I've got a license for. So I'm just looking to find a stream.
Yeah, but we may well be, if we have the pub setting, it may well be that people will just like that. I'm just going to take it back to the pub one. That's better. There we go. I feel more at home now. Exactly, Mark. Mad Mark said anything that brings the boys to the yard. Exactly. Palsy P says I suffer from motion sickness with FPS games too. is that frames per second? Do I know something down with the kids? FPS to me is frames per second. So don't know if I'm correct on that. Hello, I can see that we've got double figures, 10 viewers. So come say hi. Anything, just give us a wave. If you like us, subscribe to us or follow us or anything like that. Oh gosh. First person shooters, thank you, Paulsy P. Yeah, see, that's not a slow flowing stream. Me and Paulsy P are going to end up being motion. Oh, that's a bit better. It was a bit close. It's when it's so close that all you've got is the motion. Yeah,
it's a stream. It's just a very big stream.
That's what rivers are.
Yeah, it's a very big stream.
That's better now, Bovine, though, isn't it? That now that he's pulled it out.
I do all this for free, and I still get complaints.
Oh. No, it's better now that it's. I don't know what the technical term is. You've got a wider shot now. It's better now that it's not so focused on the movement. I can just about cope with that one. I can't help it. Don't want to make your guest sick. We're losing numbers with that. Do you know I would start singing if I didn't think we'd get DMCA'd there, Paulsy P. It says UB40, many rivers to cross. Good band. Very, very unique sounding. You've gone quiet, Steve. You're looking.
I think he has gone quiet. I think he has gone quiet. Right. Okay.
That's better. It's going to make it. You know why everyone's leaving? It's because they need to go to the toilet.
Paulsy P, I've met UB40. I met UB40 in Ireland about 15 years ago. We were staying in the same hotel as them. I appeared on a TV programme in Ireland, the Gerald Kelly Show, and UB40 were the closing act on the Gerald Kelly Show, and we stayed in the same hotel as them. And we come back to the hotel, and it's one of the best nights of my life, because at that time I smoked, and me and Ali Campbell and my wife and a couple of other guys from UB40, we spent the night getting absolutely wankered on beer and off of our tits on cannabis. It was just unbelievable. What a night with UB40. It was a great evening, and we had a great laugh, and that was a long, long time ago, and I'll never forget that night. That just all of us off of our heads on cannabis. Some of the guys are off their heads on other stuff, but I didn't touch it. But I thought I'd just mention that. I spent the night getting stoned with Ali Campbell and UB40 in Ireland 15, 16 years ago. But there we go. Is that better, Tracy? Does that calm your tits?
My tits were very calm. I'm just not allowed to touch them now.
Well, you can. You just have to turn your camera off.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just. Oh, it's not. I won't complain anymore on this stream. Not about that. I mean,
anyway. Is that stream on this stream more to your liking?
We're streaming on a stream.
Ovine Spongiform used to go there in the 90s. Not to this pub, you didn't, because it was only open 2 years ago. But
he might have meant Royal Parade.
Oh right, okay, yeah, okay. Was there a big gay scene there then?
Probably I know you're asking him, but I'm thinking probably a student. You know, because he was would have been a student in the 90s or earlier in the 90s, anyway.
The Queen's Head, yeah. The Queen's Head, yeah. The Queen's Head isn't in Royal Parade. Queen's Head is in Chislehurst High Street, but I think he probably means the Bull Hotel. The Bull Hotel was in Royal Parade, but the Queen's Head is in the High Street.
I might have meant Chislehurst then, yeah.
So he's getting his pub mixed up, but the Bull Hotel is the pub in the High Street in Royal Parade. But that's not where I go. I go to a little micropub. You can Google it, a little micropub called the Cockpit, that sells real ale.
Is that with James, Andy?
Yeah, the Queen's Head's in Chisholm High Street. One of the oldest pubs in London, funnily enough.
Sorry, Paulsy P said telephone box. Steve turns into Superman. Well, well, actually, it was on one of his live streams from the pub. He was sat there, and further up the road behind him, there was like a proper telephone box. And so people on his Reddit feed kept saying that he had a green screen, and even the telephone box was fake. So what Steve did was he unplugged his mic and everything like that from his setup, which was at the table, wheeled himself out, because obviously, you know, he's in a wheelchair, wheeled all the way up to the phone box and turned round and came all the way back. And he said, right, does that look like a green screen to you?
Yeah, you can't do that on a green screen.
Oh, that's it. You can't do that on a green screen. Is that you coughing? Oh, was that? Could hear someone coughing then.
Sure.
Is she all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. We're up to 9. Have we got?
The cough means she's still alive. Yeah. So yeah, I guess in that respect, yeah.
No, I just wondered actually whether one of my, because you know when you've got loads of tabs open in the window on a browser, and one of them suddenly activates for some reason, and you're there going, where the hell's that noise coming from? And I actually thought that one of them had started coughing. Which one is it?